What's going on, everybody? It's your favorite YouTuber, Austin Holloman, here in Manaus, Brazil. And I have another pre-recorded video that will be very informational. Hopefully it'll be helpful to some of you guys that are looking to travel to South America. Now, I've been to, I believe, 8 countries now in South America. I've been to Colombia, Brazil, Bolivia, Paraguay, Uruguay, Argentina, Chile, Bolivia. So 8 countries now. And I have a lot of information. I'm just now realizing, hey, I could literally sit here and drop informative videos about these places and one of my favorite continents in the world, South America. So today we're going to talk about remember, these are my top 5 most dangerous cities in South America that I've been to. And the reason I'm using my most dangerous cities is because I haven't been to the most dangerous cities, but the cities that I go to are places that tourists like to go to. These are not in any specific order, but they may be just about right. So my first most dangerous city, and I'll be looking over because I have some statistics as well to support some of my arguments. My first most dangerous city in South America is Cartagena, Colombia. Now, if you guys don't know Cartagena, Colombia, it is, in my opinion, the Miami of Colombia. And I think I've heard other people say that before. It is the coastal city. I believe it was a slave port during the colonial times. And it has a rich colonial architecture. It has a very, very nice vibe to it. Now, Cartagena has a lower crime rate than places like Cali or, let's say, Medellin. But I'm going to tell you guys, petty crime like pickpockets, that's all over Latin America, but it is there. But Cartagena is, from what I experienced, I was only able to last 4 days there, right? I was in Colombia at this time for maybe a month or maybe 6 weeks, somewhere around there. And I stayed in Cali for 10 days. I could have stayed longer than that. And I was in Medellin for about 10 days. So I was there almost about a month in total, but I spent about over a month in my entire life in Colombia. And I will tell you, Cartagena had such unpredictable danger and such a small area that was considered to be safe for a tourist. That was the most dangerous experience I had in Latin America because it happened so fast. Like, I've been to Rio. I've been to Salvador, which is one of the most dangerous cities in Latin America. You know, I've been to Cali, which is one of the most dangerous cities in Latin America. And in those places, I stayed longer than 4 days, a lot longer than 4 days. Did I experience danger? Yes, but not like at the level I came at Cartagena. For example, the types of crimes that you'll run into are like pickpockets. You might have somebody snatch a bag, but most importantly, they target tourists. That could be for robbing. That could be for the scopolamine, which is a big thing in Colombia. For you guys that don't know what scopolamine is, it usually happens to male tourists, from my understanding. It happens to the locals too, but we're the ones that get reported because, I mean, honestly, as a tourist, it doesn't matter what's happening to the locals. Is it happening to the tourists? And yes, it is in Colombia. One thing that happens there is like, oh, you're talking to a chick. This can happen anywhere in the world. It's just bad as fuck in these Colombian cities for some reason. You know, a chick puts a roofie in your drink, but they have a special drug that's natural to the land of Colombia that they make and process there, and they put it in your drink. And a lot of people wake up naked the next day. Some people don't wake up at all the next day. And it's to a point where now it's no longer just a woman takes this drug and puts it in your drink and just takes your watch, takes your wallet, your phone, your laptop, and then she's out. I've heard stories of cameras picking up after she drugs you. She calls her guys, tells them, hey, he's out. The guys come into the Airbnb or the hotel where you're at. 4 or 5 guys, I guess they pay off the security guard. They're in on it too, so you're never really safe. They even they know how to hack into your stuff and steal your Bitcoin, your Bank of America. They know how to do all that. And then you just wake up not only with your physical valuables gone, now you don't have shit. No money, nothing, no passport, nothing. It's never happened to me, but we're not going to pretend like it doesn't happen. Now, why that may be happening to some people and not me, we can have another video about that, but that's not the point today. So that's one thing that happens there. You have high amounts of sex workers there, which is not illegal in Colombia. But I'll give you guys a story that a lot of people already know about what happened to me in Cartagena. You guys know I'm a vlogger. I go around the cities and I'll record like, hey, look at this nice building. I'm interacting with people, talking to people. There was one instance where I was in the tourist zone near the clock tower in Cartagena. I was there during the day and I was there during the night. Let's start off with the daytime. I'm walking around vlogging. Bunch of white folks walking around. And Cartagena is a black city, right? So there's a bunch of white folks from Australia, Europe. Some of them ain't even speaking English. So they're obviously from somewhere else because they were speaking French and stuff like that. So more than likely they're from France. And guess what? While I'm walking around vlogging, all you see is all these women in the tourist zone. Oh no, get me off the camera. Get me off the camera. I'm like, I'm not even recording you. I'm pointing the camera straight ahead. Let me tell you something. I have enough common sense to know that if I'm in the tourist zone, let's make this a little more, let's say you're in the you're standing in front of the Eiffel Tower. Do you think that cameras will be snapping video footage and photos in front of the Eiffel Tower? That's what it's there for, right? It's a tourist attraction. So if I'm walking around the tourist zone and the entire time I got to worry about people dipping and dodging, and then these girls got pimps, and then they got these thugs and shit all around them, don't you think that'll be a problem? Like, oh, I'm just recording the area. It's a tourist zone. And then next thing you know, you got somebody comes and taps on your shoulder, come punches you in the face, or comes delete the video. Ain't nobody trying to deal with all that shit, man. So then go around at nighttime. More white folks walk around. You got some Afro-Colombians, black Colombians over there doing this little African dance, sweating, doing all this stuff, right? It's obviously something that they're doing for the tourist. So I'm recording. No problems. I literally walk one street over. Keep in mind, I'm new. I've been in the city at this time for about 4 days. A lot of tourists that go on tourist excursions, when they go to Colombia or wherever, how long do they go? Most people going on vacation 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 days. Most people don't do month, 2 months, 3 months like me. Like I'm practically living on vacation at this point. Well, it's not vacation anymore, but you get what I'm saying. So you're not going to know where you should and should not walk. So I'm walking through, recording, a bunch of white folks around. I'm following the white folks. You guys wonder why I'm saying white folks, right? When you see groups of white people in a tourist destination, it's just confirming that it's a tourist destination. They're obviously not from there. I walked one street over, maybe about 30 seconds from block to block, intersection to intersection, 30 seconds. I'm recording, and then I hear somebody saying, why are you filming everybody? Why are you filming everybody? I don't give a shit. I'm like, I'm recording. I'm not even recording you. I didn't even see this dude right there. Why are you filming everybody? Why? And it's 3 dudes. And the one dude that's talking to me is not even a Colombian. I didn't figure this out until weeks later. He's not even a Colombian. He's some African that I don't know what the hell his point of doing this was. And he's on the offense because I was recording going this way. And I'm even saying, oh, it looks like there's a bunch of prostitutes this way. Let's walk this way. And then that's when you hear this guy charging me up. And then there's a bunch of street workers dressed ridiculously saying, why are you recording? And I'm like, yo, like, you mean to tell me from there to there? Is that different? Yeah, man, that's Cartagena. You got to learn it. Listen, goddammit. All these white folks coming from Europe and Australia and the United States don't know that you can't walk from one street to the next. And one street is a vibrant tourist area. 30 seconds down the road, I guess you can get stabbed up for recording, doing tourist stuff. So that was one reason where it was like, I put it like this. After that happened, I literally went back home and bought a flight and went to Lima, Peru the next day. It was way safer than that. At least it felt safer. I didn't run into any issues in Lima, Peru. So that type of stuff right there is like, fun city, nice weather, nice people, beautiful women, good food. But do I really want to be somewhere where I can like damn near, and there's people in the comments gaslighting me, yeah, you might not make it home, you might not make it home. Good, I won't bring my ass back. Because I don't want to feel like I'm somewhere where I can be recorded and then walk over to the next street and then it's all over with. Fuck that. That's my opinion on that. And it's on video. So, to follow up with that, there's a small area in Cartagena that's considered to be safe, right? You have those two neighborhoods that's on the western side of the city. And then after you leave, and that shit's not safe. And then after you leave that, people always had advised me like, hey, you need somebody to take you over here. Don't go over here without speaking to somebody first. That's not safe. And that's fine. It doesn't have to be safe. I'm just giving you a review. I don't have to live there. I'm just telling you guys what it is. And you guys know I'm telling the truth that it's not that goddamn safe. You know, I went to a mall during the daytime. Another American recommended this mall that was east of those, what is it, like Boca Grande, and then south. It's more towards the southern part of the city. He's like, it's sketchy though. Get out the mall, get out the car, go in the mall, but don't walk around the mall. Just get right back in the Uber when you get through leaving the gym. Wow. So you're pretty much limited to two neighborhoods. And then you go to the beach and you're getting gringo price. They bring you a fucking gringo menu. They're charging you $10 a drink when the drink is probably like only $3. That's not dangerous, but it's just inconvenient as hell, and it makes it annoying. And that has a lot to do with, I'm not sure, you know, just prostitution that they got going on over there, because it's a problem in Medellin too, with this type of behavior. They selling dope. I don't know what they got going on, you know, socioeconomic problems. I don't know. Now, they say that there's increased police increased police presence in that city. I kind of call bullshit on that. I mean, I saw the police, but apparently it wasn't enough of them, you know? So one thing I did notice that they did in Cartagena before I went, which is why I was surprised this situation happened to me, was I had just seen like they were tired of Cartagena being like this sex destination, more so to say. So by the clock tower, you have a bunch of girls out there working, right? And then I see that they cleaned all that up and they moved those girls to another side of the city or another side of the neighborhood or wherever the hell they're at. They're no longer in the area they used to be. And now they got people sitting outside watching a projector movie, kids and popcorn and families. So I'm thinking, oh, Cartagena, they said it was dangerous. It was full of working girls. Now it's safe. Apparently, I was misinformed. So if you go to Cartagena, you guys do need to book a consultation with a content creator. Shout out to Learn Crypto TV. Lowe's, he might have a problem with this video, but hey, my experience is my experience. It's the truth. That's what happened to me. That's what I saw. That's why I got up out of there quick. You could not tell you guys not to go. Plenty of people go and they have no problems in Cartagena. Plenty of people also go to Walmart in the United States and they don't get killed by a kid that got an F on his report card. But it happens. So there you have it. That's one of my places. Would I go back? Probably not. I would. Would I choose to? I would love to choose to, but I probably wouldn't go back. And you probably don't care. And I don't care that you don't care. Number 2, Medellin. This has pretty much never been known to be a safe city in Latin America. If you guys don't know, Medellin is where Pablo Escobar was from. If you guys don't know who Pablo Escobar was, he was a drug kingpin back in the 80s and 90s, and he was taken out. And that crime is not as bad. But we're not going to sit up here and say Medellin is a safe place. Now, was I ever robbed? Was I ever hurt in Cartagena or Medellin? No. Did I come close to it? Yes. Did I come close to it in Medellin? Yes. For example, the tourist zone in El Poblado, Pargueras, that area, right? It's a tourist zone that's dangerous as hell. I've heard of like motorcycle gangs running up in a 5-star restaurant, pulling a rodeo Wild Wild West robbery at a 5-star restaurant where multiple guys walk in the restaurant with guns and rob like 50 people in the restaurant in a tourist zone, right? That's Medellin. It sounds like it's still Pablo Escobar days when you hear that kind of stuff. I did an IRL stream. Even without the IRL stream, I'm not even recording anybody, but I turn around, see 2 chicks behind me and my friend. Keep walking. 30 minutes goes by. Still behind us. Let's walk this way. Still behind us. Texting on the phone. Almost like they're like, okay, we got these 2 guys. We following them. Let's get them. Then they walk up and they asking us for money, right? That kind of shit. You got this thing in Colombia, it's illegal for 2 men to ride on a motorcycle from what I've heard. You can fact check that if you want to. I believe the reason it's illegal is because when 2 men are on a motorcycle, the guy on the back they're just literally just riding around scouting for people to rob, tourists to rob. And if you don't give them this stuff, you're dead, pretty much, right? So you have that kind of stuff to worry about in Medellin. When I was in Medellin, I kind of felt, especially at nighttime, I very much felt I was on the edge. And people say, oh, well, of course, stupid, it's nighttime. I'm going to do a video about the safest cities in Latin America where you could walk around with $100 bill in your hand and you're not going to be worried about somebody even coming to snatch it out of your hand. So yes, there are places you can walk around at nighttime. It's just these places that I am naming are not right. Now, these cities, Cartagena, Medellin, let's talk about Medellin right now, are notorious for robbing tourists, killing tourists, kidnapping tourists, drugging tourists. If you're a tourist in these cities, proceed with caution. You don't believe me? The United States even has a travel advisory telling you to rethink travel going to Colombia. And rightfully so, it's on there, because if you guys are a inexperienced traveler, first time traveler, Medellin is a great place to go to because it won't be too much of a culture shock if you stay in that tourist zone. I think even outside the tourist zone, I wasn't too shocked. Like, I didn't have a culture shock going to Medellin. And that was the second city that I went to in the entire world. I didn't have a culture shock going there. But if you move goofy and you like to throw money and you like to wear expensive blingy diamonds and shiny gold and stuff like that, you can easily get followed home, become a target, get kidnapped. You guys remember Jason? He has a friend that got kidnapped in Medellin, and they held him for a $20,000 ransom. There's been other people. You guys remember the Asian guy that was dating a chick in Medellin for, I believe it was, 3 months, and he has seen her multiple times, or he was dating her for an extended period of time to trust her. Now, looking at her, I wouldn't have trusted her. But the fact is, she kidnapped him, and then he was found in a ditch later on following that moment. So you have, and this is not new. Medellin has gotten better since Pablo Escobar, yes, but until the government decides that they actually want to do something about it, has a long way to go. The way that I've heard that the Colombian government is looking at it is they're not really, they look at these tourists that are dying more so as just sex tourists, and hey, they knew what they were getting into and they come down here. We have our own problems to worry about. Let's do that. Not to mention, a lot of these people that are drugging and murdering people get right back out of jail. I mean, that's very common in Latin America for them to get right back out. But just keep that in mind. So I don't think that these people that are offing people are just disappearing off the streets. Like, if you do that in the United States, like, you're going to go to jail for a while. You got to be really, really rich to get out of that system of facing a homicide charge. So that happens. Of course, you still have pickpockets and all that kind of stuff. There are some safe neighborhoods, you know, like if you go far south, or if you, I believe the other neighborhood's called Layeres or something like that, or whatever it is, right? All that stuff is dangerous if you ask me, but it's better. when you go to this place. You don't feel as in danger because those people, again, as a tourist, these people go to the tourist zones looking for you, looking to rob you. Look, like when I was in Colombia, I'm a single man, right? So when I go to these places, I'm going to sleep with women or I'm going to date women while I'm there, right? Rightfully so. That's my fucking right. But these women they're like almost in gangs and they prey on tourists, specifically in these two cities. I don't know why. I don't care why. I'm just letting you guys know that's what happens. But people are still going there. People are also still dying there on a weekly basis, if not several times a week. And that's all that's being reported, and even more are being robbed. So proceed at your own risk, right? Number 4 is Cali, Colombia. And then this will be the last Colombian city. This is a Colombian city I went to. I'm going to say this. Cali, Colombia is a very chill city. If you stay in the tourist zone and even outside the tourist zone, like I went to the southern part of the city. Granada is the tourist zone, from my understanding, in Cali, Colombia. It's dangerous there too. I've seen videos of people walking in the banks in that tourist area, robbing the bank. Did I experience that? No. Did I come close to it? Absolutely not. Not one time in Cali, Colombia. For some reason, I think it has like the highest crime rate, or one of the highest crime rates in Colombia. Not for some reason in that city, I didn't feel in danger. Now that may be because there's American tourists and other people, expats living in Cali, Colombia, like Andre Love Crossing Borders. Shout out to him. But guess what? I think there's less tourists there. There are less tourists. And there's not a red light district. There's not a huge pay for play scene. So the whole scoping and sitting around preying on tourists, I'm not saying it doesn't happen. I just don't think it happens as bad in those areas. But Cali, Colombia that's where the Cali cartel is from my understanding. It doesn't feel like it. Didn't feel like it when I was there. I think those drug cartels are a little more low key now with the kind of stuff. But if you ask me, I felt the safest there. I felt it, and that's honest, but because of the statistics, it's still one of the most dangerous cities you could be in. Let's go over to Brazil. You have Rio de Janeiro, or in Portuguese, Rio de Janeiro, Brazil, the most visited city in Brazil. This is what people think of when they think of Brazil. Very vibrant city, beautiful beaches, amazing drinks, good cost of living, beautiful women everywhere that aren't known for drugging and kidnapping. It happens. Not really at the rate that is happening in Colombia, at least not that I've heard, at least not when I was there. You know, it's not happening like that. But Rio is not safe at all. I stayed in Copacabana 3 times. I will tell you, at nighttime in Copacabana, there was many times I did not feel safe. Would I go back? Yes. I'm a man, right? So it's not too much of an issue for me, but I'm not going to sit up here and just make up shit. It's not safe in a lot of those areas in Rio. And one thing about Rio is you can be in a nice area. You're in the car, 5 minutes later, you're driving through a favela. Especially if it's during Carnival and they got the streets blocked off. I noticed this in 2022 when I went in February 2022 during Carnival. It'd be nice. Oh, this street's blocked off, so you got to go this way. Start going up a hill. Whenever you're in Rio and you start going up a hill, that's not a good sign. That means you're going up into a favela. Then there's all these dudes standing around drinking 40 ounces on the street. This is my first time out the country. I'm in Rio. I'm like, oh shit. Like, why is he taking? Are they about to rob us? What are we doing? But we were just driving through. It's unpredictable danger in Rio. Let's say that. In Cali, Colombia, it seemed a little more predictable. Hey, don't go here, don't go there. Stay in these couple neighborhoods, you'll be safe. But in Rio, it's unpredictable. You wear jewelry on the beach. They have groups of little boys that'll walk around, 8, 10 of them. You can't fight them. Sometimes they have knives. I've heard of them having guns. Do you want to find out? Try it. Now, when I was in Brazil, I used to wear jewelry on the beach. Not so much in Rio, but when I was in Salvador, yes. Did I ever come close to being robbed? No, never. Now, I have walked around, walking back to my Airbnb at nighttime, and from the beach, 2 streets back to my Airbnb, and there's a dark guy in the alleyway saying, come here, come here. He's in the alleyway saying, come here. Like, this dude must think I'm stupid. But stuff like that goes on. So if you're a woman, I mean, that's for me, right? I can only imagine being a woman being in that situation. So, yes, there are pickpockets. There are people that will rob you in the street. There are people that will, and they'll do it in broad daylight, right? They will walk up to you and snatch a chain right off your neck. Of course, you have the people that are riding down on a motorcycle or a bike and they'll just snatch your phone out your hand. That stuff happens, right? Not really too worried about my phone getting snatched. It's not necessarily dangerous unless they make it dangerous. Now, if you're in Copacabana, it's been times I've been on the beach and there's been like literally 15 military police officers with these assault rifles. And it makes you feel a little safer. But the fact that they have that many police officers, military police officers there, shows you that it's not safe. And anybody that wants to debate with me, what are you talking about? I've been to cities, and I'm going to talk about it in the next video. I've been to cities in Latin America where it's so safe I could walk anywhere in that city at nighttime confidently with headphones in, and I wouldn't even need to watch my back. Will I watch my back? Yes, but I don't feel the need to watch my back. I don't feel unsafe. I also didn't see too many police officers. You don't see police officers and you don't feel unsafe, more than likely you're not in a dangerous city, or at least in a dangerous area of that city. So yes, Rio is one of the more dangerous neighborhoods. If you're a local, if you own a car, you've probably heard of locals talk about carjackings or people breaking into cars in the street. Look at how the houses are set up. Everywhere has a gate. You know, in the United States, you can go into some apartment complexes don't even have gates. You can just drive right in, park your car. The carjackings are not as dangerous, depending on what city you're in, are not as dangerous as some places. You know, like in New York City, maybe it's more common than it is in Dallas. Just letting you know, each city in each country is not the same. I hope you have enough common sense to know that. There are gangs, and there's a lot of poverty in Rio. And yeah, I think we've covered enough of that. But they do target areas like Copacabana and Ipanema and even Leblon, which is a really, really expensive, nice area. But they do target areas like that. Now I'm going to give you guys another story. There was this chick in the north zone of Rio, right? The south zone is where you'll be at. Leblon, Ipanema, you know, Laranjeiras, Barra da Tijuca, which is further out. No real issues that way, right? It's very safe that way from when I was over there. But the north zone is usually where the locals live at. Like if you're dating, most of the women are going to live north because it's cheaper. That's where they can afford it. They can't afford usually to stay where you're staying at as a tourist. I went to this chick's house. Again, Rio is dangerous because they have checkpoints going in and out of certain points of the city. You want to go to Barra da Tijuca? Many times I got stopped by the military police, take everything out your pockets. They go into my wallet. They ask me if I got guns and drugs. I've even had a couple of them put the assault rifles and turn the laser in my eyeball, screaming and yelling. I thought I was going to fucking die. And I'm telling them like, hey, I don't know, you got the wrong guy. The only reason I think I made it out of this situation was because I told them, hey, we're from the United States, and they put the guns at relax. But a minute ago, his gun was just so close to me, I could smell the gunpowder. Stuff like that doesn't happen in safe cities. Now, I'm not telling you not to go to Rio. I would tell you go to Rio. I'm just telling you guys as a review of my experience. But have I ever gotten robbed in Rio? No, but I have enough common sense to know that there are some very unsafe areas, and anybody that denies it is just delusional. It is. That doesn't mean you're going to get robbed, but dude, it does happen. And you know it happens. So quit getting online lying to people. Okay, they even have statistics to back this up. But again, it's a great place to visit. I'm not telling you not to go there. That was a city that changed my life. But anyway, after we went through the checkpoint, I was at her house for a couple hours, came back. It was late at night, maybe like 1 a.m. As I'm coming back, the Uber driver lets down all the windows and turns on the lights inside the car and gets into a cruise while we pass the military police. And these military police literally look like they're in fucking Iraq. You got a dude sitting on the back of the pickup truck with his assault rifle, Like he's waiting on the Taliban to pull up. You got another dude with his helmet on to the point where you can't even see his face, looking like he's ready to go into war. You can't even see his face. And there's literally like 10 or 15 of these guys at this checkpoint. It's not safe. I've been to Madrueta, which is known as the black neighborhood where Casa Black Rio is. I've been there 3 times, right? It looks dangerous outside of those clubs over there, but when you walk around there, I've walked around there with jewelry on. Nobody even looked at me sideways. At least I didn't see it. Getting the Uber to go back to Copacabana, there's a dude in the middle of the street with a mask on and a tech directing traffic. That's Rio. Still, go to Rio. I'm telling you guys, I would go back. I loved it. But I'm just telling you guys exactly what it is. So before you go to Rio, but if you guys still want to go to these cities, I advise you still go to these cities. Not all of them, but I advise you go to them. I will have my travel guides to tell you guys exactly where I stay. They give you some practical information on how you can avoid these dangers and save you a lot of headache, keep you safe, save your time. Last city on the list, Salvador Bahia, which was my second city I went to in Brazil. It's still my favorite city in Brazil. I've been to 5 cities in Brazil. I've been to Rio, Recife, Salvador, Sao Paulo, and Manaus. Salvador Bahia is the blackest city outside of Africa, is known as. That being said, there's a lot of black people. It's a lot of Afro-Brazilian culture. That was a slave port back in the day. A lot of nice colonial architecture in Berlino over there, I believe it's called, right? I was in Salvador Bahia for about 3 months. I had a year lease there. I had to leave, but I had an issue, right? But it's a great city. It's also one of the most dangerous cities in Latin America. But it's a great city. Go there, I'm telling you. But it is dangerous, and if you move silly, you can get got very easily there. Now, the good thing about Salvador Bahia is that crime rate that you see online usually is concentrated in a certain area. So one thing I noticed about Salvador was you had the tourist neighborhoods, and you had some local neighborhoods that were still very nice, and the favelas were sectioned off, right? Of course, you can't stop those people from coming outside of the favelas, but they're sectioned off. So you know, hey, I can walk here at night. I can walk here during the day. You know what to expect. It's not unpredictable like Rio. They say don't wear your jewelry on the beach. And Salvador really didn't have an issue with that. You know, I was hanging out there with Vibrant with Fred. Shout out to him. He would wear his chains and his watch and his sunglasses. I would wear my watch, my chain. No problem. Never came close to being robbed in Salvador. Never had any issues with the police or nothing like that. No real danger in Salvador. But the statistics show that it is one of the most dangerous cities in Latin America. Trust me. Now, you can get pickpocketed for sure there. Like if there was near the lighthouse over there in Baja, they had a event where it was like a concert and they had guys flying the drones around. You have a bunch of teenagers that showed up. They show in packs of 10 and they do the little thing where they bump into somebody, grab your wallet, and they throw it around the next person, throw it to that person, throw it to that person. That was the most I got. That was the closest I got to danger in Salvador. But violent crime, no. Does it happen? Absolutely. I've had videos sent to me of, you know, women getting a chain snatched off their neck, and there's 3 or 4 or 5 teenagers there. That could be you as well. So just proceed with caution, but it is one of the best cities I've been to. Now, I will say the police in Salvador Bahia, just like Rio, it is very common for the military police to do patrols and for them to hang out near the beach. And just, you can see them, what we in the United States would call stop and frisk. But over there, it just seems like they just pull out they profile and they just pull out the pistol and tell the dude to let me pat you down and check your backpack. So that will make you feel more comfortable. But really, if you stay in the tourist zones and you don't make yourself look like a target walking around with money hanging out your pocket, and expensive valuables just dangling all around you, I don't really think you'll have an issue in Salvador Bahia. So let me know what you guys think in the comments. I know some people are going to be heated. I don't care. I liked all these cities that I went to. I said good things about them. But it is very important for people to know about the reality of being in some of these cities. I'll see you guys next time. Make sure you guys click the products below. There will be a travel guide for each city that I just mentioned, because I've been to all those cities and I've explored those cities. Not so much Cartagena, but I can tell you guys where you should stay in Cartagena and what you should expect while you're there. So, yes, let me know what you guys think. I love you guys. I'll see you guys next time.